Good afternoon. My name is Chuck Parker. I'm the CEO at Sohonet, and we're here in fabulous Las Vegas for the 2025 NAB show. We have a lot of great stuff we're showing off this year, starting with a new product capability and feature set called Editorial Sessions. So in our company's flagship product, ClearView Flex, Emmy-winning, award-winning, all that kind of stuff, where it just works in terms of frame rate and color, we now have the capability to integrate all the video conferencing faces that you need for your collaboration. But we've done it in a way where we've tried to deliver a preset capability so that you don't have to play with muting and unmuting microphones or making sure that you don't add the X person who's gonna drop your whole connection set. As soon as we get past initial feedback with our customer base in the marketplace, we'll be moving on to remote monitoring, which is the ability to do the same kind of capability that Flex has, but to a single creative. Typically that's for, say, AWS, where we're trying to get signal from cloud to ground with a single creative, the editor themselves, so they can be on Avid and have that AWS-driven Avid experience with that color-accurate, frame-accurate content on their screen. That's, I think, the right direction for where we're headed with our partnerships with those two companies. If we think through other things that are happening in our booth, we have a great integration with Bind Studio. So Bind Studio is doing an interesting workflow for freelance VFX artists who might join a production. So that the ability for them to have shot grid integration, use our product file runner to push those shots into an AWS bucket, and then be able to look at those through Flex straight from AWS. And that works really well both with products like Flame, as an example. So it's a great NDI out experience from cloud. Again, the same sort of sub-100 millisecond latency that you would classically get. Something else worth checking out, on our website, we have a great case study that we just wrote up with Parliament. They do a lot of amazing commercial work, including things for the Super Bowl, as an example. And what they're doing is they're using Flame in the cloud, in AWS, and they're obviously trying to get that signal back to the physical world, and that's worked really, really well. We've written up how they're deploying the technology in that case study and tried to build out all the engineering steps so it's easy to set up your same Flex experience that you have in the physical world in your virtual world, meaning on AWS, and of course our other cloud partners. The best part about the Parliament use case that we're talking about is that our partners, Gunpowder Tech, helped us put that together. They are experts in figuring out VFX workflows, just like our partners Bind Studio. So it's a great relationship so that those creative and technical people can get the workflows that they need, whether they're working physically or more appropriately from the cloud. In Parliament's case, not only do we have an AWS, but Gunpowder is also very adept at GCP, so Google's version as well. And the last thing I think is worth a look is our product, ClearView Rush. So we've shown what a modern version of dailies and cut reviews for studio executives can look like, focusing on first the creative review experience for the executive. It's an iPad first experience, and then focus after that on the workflow. So how do we receive dailies in from the daily post partner? How do we then go through a release cycle so that depending on what studio or production company you're in, that the release cycle for those products happens in a way that makes sense without all the crazy Google spreadsheets and Airtables that people tend to use to try to manage that complexity. But again, giving the creative executives an absolutely first-class content-focused review process, right? With all the appropriate OTIO integrations so that you have the ability to look at all the circle takes or all camera A, or you want to look at it in shoot order, or you want to look at it in scene order for continuity. You can check out in the cut review, you can see how continuity flows between scenes. So lots of great improvements for those customers. So all of this you can find out on our website at sohonet.com, of course. And if you're still here at NAB, we'd love to see you in the next couple days. We're in the West Hall on booth 3523. And if we don't see you, hope we'll see you in Los Angeles or in London or New York or wherever your productions are.